I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you?
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
I'm 37?
I'll have what she's having.
Well done! Well
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Filmstore Basement podcast. I'm your host, Michaela, and
Hello, guys. I'm Bruno.
yes, Bruno is also here. Of
Oh,
course.
there's always a disappointment in your voice when you say that.
What? No,
Yeah,
no,
I've
there
noticed. I've
isn't.
noticed when I'm editing, there's always like, oh yeah, Bruno is here. Yeah.
What? No way. No way. I don't sound. Do I sound disappointed?
Yeah,
Well,
you do, you do.
I promise I'm not. I promise I'm
Okay,
not. I
okay.
promise I'm really happy that you're here. Like,
I
thank
think I believe
No,
it.
thank you. Thank you for your presence, for being here, for making this discussion better. Like, come on,
See,
guys, and you that you're listening, come on,
that's
show
more
Bruno
like
some love.
yeah. See, say
Uh,
say thank
but
you.
I really didn't. Well, I guess. I mean, listen, it's morning. I am. It's not like I've just woken up, but like I am still a bit sleepy.
Drowsy.
Yeah, just a bit. But anyway, that's not me excusing my potential disappointment.
Okay,
Because I'm not. I really am not.
okay.
Believe me, please. Anyway, welcome to the Film Store Basement podcast. If you're not new here, then you're a badass. Like, hi, what's
Yeah.
up? Love having you here, and you're the greatest, really. Thank you for coming back, really. Now, from the bottom of my heart, I'm not disappointed. Today, we're going to talk about Inside Out 2.
Oh yeah.
This is like our first animation movie.
Yes.
And
It
I
kind
love
of.
animation, and we've done like only, I don't know, live action stuff. And
Yeah. I don't know why we never had the idea of doing an animation film.
but Inside Out is actually Bruno's choice. This movie is really interesting in some of the themes that it brings up, and we thought that maybe going around the plot might be just a tiny bit boring for people. But yeah, Bruno, why did you choose Inside Out 2? Like, what's up? Did you enjoy Inside Out 1? Is that it?
I was quite amazed for some aspects of the film, especially how they tackled like emotions and stuff. It kind of reminds me of an animation series that were done in the 80s. It was called what's it called? Once Upon a Time kind of thing. Once Upon a Time. It was a French thing, but translated to everywhere in the world. And there was something that was like Once Upon a Time, the Human Body. And then it's funny because he had like a general headquarters also that was your brain, and you had all these little people working these big computers and issuing out orders and stuff, and you had like runners delivering the orders from the brain to the different stuff, and you would follow like these stories with the red globes transporting oxygen. It was a nice
Oh
way
my
of
God, like stop. I know that thing.
yeah,
We
it
used to
was
watch it in kindergarten.
oh
Like
yeah,
I'm not like you see, you said from the 80s and I was like, well, I don't know that because I wasn't like I'm not from the 80s.
yeah,
But and I was like maybe this is something from his generation, of course. But you were talking about it like once upon a time, like an animation stuff. Wait a second. Just
yeah,
checked it out and I was like, yes, we used to watch
yeah,
this back in kindergarten when I came to Portugal. This was really popular to learn about the human body,
yeah, yeah.
and
It
I
was a great
always
film.
thought it was so fascinating how like
Yeah.
the stuff because it's like a tiny itsy bit army like the whole it's a
The antibodies
whole
are like the police, and the white globes are like
yeah,
this.
it's like a whole
Yeah,
society inside of you.
yeah,
It's so funny, and that thing really stuck with me, you know. I feel like animation has a lot of potential of educating.
oh yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
not only the kids, but I feel like there's a lot of it for adults too. I
Oh
don't know.
yeah, there's a lot of adult jokes on Inside Out.
I
And
mean,
what
come
what
on. I gotta say, Pixar did a number with Inside Out. The first movie was great in terms of like concept.
Oh yeah, I
So
really liked it. Like I really got turned into the film by a nephew of mine because they were on holidays in Portugal, and he has like ADHD. and the kid is always all over the place. But that movie triggered like his hyperfocus, and it was really really cool to see like this hyperactive kid and like bouncing around from the walls, and all of a sudden the kid watched the film like twice in a row, and I was like,
Really?
yeah. And I was like, let me see this movie with him. So I saw the movie with him, and I was like, oh, this is genius.
It's really cool, yeah.
Yeah.
When they said we're going to release this, like the second one, like the and it's going to be like a franchise and whatnot, I was really curious, like, and they did not disappoint. Like they did
No, they
not
didn't.
disappoint because second movie focuses on we still have Riley, our main character, the girl, but she's a bit older now, you see, so she's getting into puberty, but she's still a child, you see. But she's getting new emotions. So we have like this whole balance happening with joy, fear, sadness, disgust, and anger. But then suddenly new emotions come into headquarters and kind of like disturb the balance.
Yes.
And the new emotions are embarrassment, envy, l'ennui, which is basically boredom, and our like main emotion for the movie is our queen, anxiety.
Yes.
Okay, and that's what we're going to talk about in today's episode is about anxiety, you know. Not only anxiety, how it's represented in this movie, because I do think it's like genius. So many little things that were brought up in such a clever way of explaining this emotion and
Yeah.
how it takes over your, like, not only your mind or your body, but like your life, your actions, how it, like, it I feel like it reprograms you, you know, in the worst way
Yeah.
possible. But yeah, it's about anxiety, and the movie really did an amazing job at just exposing that, I
Oh yeah, I
think.
felt like there's a trick with the film because like we're gonna do a film about emotion, so we're gonna focus on a girl. Yeah, well, okay, that's fine. Probably focus on a boy or something would be very disruptive for Disney, but it
Why do
still
you say
works
that?
because this is a big thing, isn't it? Like emotions. This is like always the emotions are for girls and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, yeah, no,
You,
you're
you
correct,
even
you're
have that.
correct. It just
Um,
makes sense for
s-
to have an MC that
yeah.
is a girl, yeah.
So, but it kind of works, makes sense. It also teaches how anxiety works. I found it like really funny that puberty was like this big alarm and it was blasting everywhere
Yeah, yeah.
and this crew came out and destroyed the headquarters and rewired their brain, the console brain,
Yeah,
and
there was like there was like a sign that was saying purity is here, it might
yeah,
get a bit messy or
yeah,
something like that. I just
yeah,
found that so
yeah.
interesting, like so funny
It
anyway.
was so cool, and
Um,
because puberty goes really, it's different for boys and girls, and which is something that only recently we started studying as a society. I was like seeing the film, and I was like, "Oh, I want to do an episode about this, especially because it's like, how do you relate to that film? You being a woman and all, did puberty hit you like that?
you see, like puberty has a way of affecting people in like a more general sense, in a way
Yeah,
that you can like describe it, and it's like a more you know, universal experience. But then you have like the more personalized one because it's like your life, you'll deal with stuff your own way. For
yeah,
instance, I don't really remember in my purity having like anxiety wasn't really a thing for me. So that's like a different thing. And I do feel it makes sense for in the context of what the movie told us, you know,
yeah,
Riley wants to really get into this sports team and go to she's going to a new school next year and she is a hockey player and she really wants to get into this team with the older girls and wants to be approved and has a lot of pressure on her shoulders. So like there's a lot, and of course anxiety is going to thrive with that. But in terms of puberty, I can't say that I have like bad memories of it. I mean, sure, I had acne, my body was developing in a very weird way. Like I remember being the only girl in class with boobs, and it was just really okay, that's funny. I love how that suddenly became my whole being was just that, you see. Kids can be really mean.
yeah.
And I remember the first time I got my period and how non-dramatic it actually was. Like it made it seem like it was like this awful thing, but then it wasn't because you don't even realize that you're going through it. It's like you will realize later in life that this was such an awkward phase for you. It's
Yeah.
like so much like my skin was so oily. I would smell so bad, like odor. I don't know, I was a disgusting kid. I guess that's like what kids are. They are developing. It's I once read something about like how it's okay. Of course, kids have to be ugly. They're like developing,
Yeah.
which I think it's amazing because I wish I because that's not how kids' minds work, Even when you're like 12, you're still like, oh my God, I have a crush. I have to be cute. But yeah, I did feel a lot of emotions like envy, for instance, and
Envy.
embarrassment. Yeah, and embarrassment, which are the new emotions in the Inside Out 2 movie for puberty. And I remember feeling them like
What were you envious of?
I was very envious of the appearance of other girls in my class.
Really?
Yeah, like sometimes they would have stuff that I didn't have. Like they had more money, so like they were able to buy a bunch of stuff that I was not able, or like have life experiences that I wasn't able to have, like going on vacation or just having a new phone or buying clothes that were more, I don't know, cute than what I had, or
Were you
just small
popular?
things because no, I wasn't,
You were? You
No,
had
I
that
wasn't. I
popular
mean,
girl vibe.
no, I wasn't. I was an immigrant. What do you mean? How can I be popular?
Yeah,
But
but you kind of grew up here, so you don't have the
uh,
accent or anything.
well, you see, I don't think that works like that in
Ah, okay.
for kids. And like I had friends. I wasn't like an isolated kid, but I remember that I was not definitely one of the popular girls. Like I tried to get along with them, but I was not. I was just a bit on my own lane. Like I had my friends but like the popular girls weren't even in my class, if I recall. So like
Ah,
I
okay.
I, I don't think puberty really affected me in a so negative way that I have so many bad memories of my childhood. Like I don't. But I remember it being very awkward. Not bad, just really awkward.
Okay. You started getting more attention, like more boys' attention or not?
Well, yeah, because of boobs. Well, because of that. Only because of
We men are
that.
so basic, aren't we?
Yeah, totally. Like I feel like puberty is a time for immaturity and for like
Yeah,
hyper emotions to happen. You see,
yeah.
you are annoying for all like you are annoying. That's it. And
Yeah, because we don't know how to deal with all these things that we are experiencing or feeling. All of a sudden, we have all these urges, and no one
yeah, and I
actually
don't
tells
yeah.
us what to do or
Exactly. And I don't feel like our adults at home, at school, really know how to deal with it either. I didn't felt guided in any way. Like I just felt like you're on your own. Like try to explore it. We are here to teach you about this class, or at home we're here to like give you food and clothing. It's not like we are here to really explain to you how it works because no one did for us. So we don't actually even know how to do it for you as well. So I think it's something that's been changing with my generation at least.
Yeah, I think
Um,
so. I remember when I was like, I told you this, but when I was like 21 and I moved out to Lisbon, I went to live in Lisbon, and I was dating this girl and everything, and but all of a sudden I moved like to Lisbon, a big city and everything, and I was living on the east side of Lisbon, and it was very crowded and it's like buildings everywhere, and I'm not from that context at all, and I started having like panic attacks and feeling very anxious all the time, and I went to my doctor and I said to him what I was feeling like I wanted help because these panic
yeah, you were
attacks
feeling weird, yeah.
were really weird to have, and I'm describing all these symptoms and everything, and the guy turns around to me and he says like, "Do you have a girlfriend?" And I said yes, and he said, "That's the problem," and I was like, "Okay," and
What?
it's like, "Yeah, well, okay," it's like,
Like that's the problem. You feel like shit,
yeah,
okay? You You feel like the world is swallowing you because you have a partner, okay? That's the
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me that man had a bad marriage and had a very ugly divorce without telling me that.
I don't know, probably yes. Even nowadays, there's a film about anxieties and all that, and I was like, ah, see, it should have been in my time.
Yeah, no, but it's true. Like the whole discussion of emotions and the way that we feel in terms of like even anxiety or mental health in general, like
Yeah,
depression especially. It's like those are stuff that have been having a boom in the last couple of years in terms of like acceptance and open discussions, which I think it's awesome, you know. Like I only developed anxiety later in life, not actually in my teens or when I was an early teen during puberty. I didn't really felt like maybe I felt some sort of like strangeness and fear or like embarrassment and maybe a tiny bit of anxiety, but it was never like something so major. I never had a panic attacks. I was a very extrovert kid, you know. I made friends easily. I wasn't really that afraid of making myself be seen unless it was for my crush. Something so funny in during the movie is when anxiety says to Joy, Riley needs more sophisticated emotions now.
yeah,
You're
I
just
love
not
that.
it.
Yeah,
It was so she proceeds to bottle up all of those first emotions like
yeah.
joy,
Fear,
disgust,
disgust.
anger, and fear, and sadness. So they put them like in a jar, and it's like we are suppressed emotions now.
Yeah,
One of them says, and it's so funny. Like, yes, they're bottled up. They're
yeah.
emotions that are just suppressed, and I feel like anxiety does that a lot. It just
It
takes over. It's so incredible. Like as someone who has anxiety, and I am diagnosed now with it, and although I'm much better now, like a couple of years ago, I was like at the worst mind space possible. Like the way
yeah,
your mind works when you have anxiety, like and it's not like just anxiety for specifically one thing. It's like anxiety for life itself. It's like you feel like every step you're taking you are just going down and down, and you overthink so much trying to like get up, trying not to drown yourself. And it's
yes.
worse because overthinking just, I don't know, it's not the best approach,
No.
but it's the shortcut that you get when you feel so much pressure on you.
My puberty went a bit haywire because I got struck with all these feelings of not belonging anywhere, and it's like, and I went through this period of like being like this really annoying anarchist with everything around me, like defying authority on school, teachers, parents. And all of a sudden, it because like 93, 94 was a period here in Portugal that there was like this student uprising, and it was just like the outlet for all my puberty things was just being in the middle of this.
Yeah, you were just a
Like
menace. You were
yeah, like
like,
striking and grabbing people out of the classes and helping the older kids closing down schools and stuff. I was like 13,
13.
14.
That's
Yeah.
great. I mean, I can see that. Yeah.
When I go back and look at it, like I think probably puberty takes out consequence thinking in boys. We stop thinking about consequences to our actions. And I was missing school a lot because I just didn't want to go to school. I was like, why? What's the purpose? Because like the ennui emotion kind of got hold of me, and I was like defying everything. Like, what's the purpose in this? Why am I studying this? Like, this is so easy because everything in school looked very easy for me. I think that
Uh,
like you're probably your generation, and it's good that your generation grew up with a different approach into the puberty and all the problems that puberty brings. And
yeah, one
uh,
thing that I actually thought was really good in the movie was when puberty like arrived, and Riley wakes up and the parents like
Oh,
like
yeah.
the mom comes in her room and it's like, Riley, everything is all right. You didn't pack anything. And every time one of the emotions like pushed a button, it was like the reaction that Riley had was like so bigger than just
Yeah.
like that emotion. Like she would like get super angry. Like if
Yeah.
anger touched a button, she would like just scream and be super angry about it. Like, so it's just how sensitive you are during like that such a transformative moment in your body and mind, you see. And then I liked how her mother headquarters, like the emotions in her
Yeah.
mother's head, were like, okay, we prepared for this, y'all. We need to calm down. We knew this was coming. No, no, no. And then at the end, one of them just says, well, this is a preview for the next 10 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I guess. One thing that I really enjoyed in that scene was also seeing that the mother's headquarters only had the main emotions. So
Yes.
like the ones that we see that come with puberty actually are not there anymore.
Yeah.
So you
They
kind of like
controlled.
you kind of like overgrow them. And I
Yeah.
think I do think that those emotions are also important, but I do believe that the main emotions are much more important for like a balanced
Oh, yeah.
emotional state.
I don't even remember the last time I felt embarrassed by something.
You know what I really loved about embarrassment? Like he's such a big fella, like
Oh,
such a
yeah.
big guy. And it's like because that's true, embarrassment makes you feel like huge, like
Yeah.
everyone is looking at you.
Yeah.
And embarrassment and anxiety, they are friends, okay?
Yeah.
They are friends and fear also, like they're there. Like that's the trio, that's the golden trio of
Oh,
like
I love that in the film that
success.
fear is always chatting up anxiety.
Yeah, because like they're just like they're like distant cousins. I don't know, like they're
And
just
then
like so
when they bottle
similar.
up the other emotions and the other emotions are trying to make their way in fear is constantly going. Anxiety would know the way. Anxiety would know what to
Anxiety, we
do.
think about it,
Yeah.
like anxiety, of course, anxiety would, because anxiety is always thinking like 3 steps ahead, but like in the worst way possible.
Yeah.
And I loved how, by contrast with embarrassment, envy is so small, you see.
Yeah.
Envy is such a like tiny, itty bitty
Yeah.
small thing that's like that corrupts you, that like eats you
Yeah.
alive. And I believe like the more you feed envy, the bigger it becomes.
Yeah.
Like envy is actually the bigger thing, the awful thing, much more awful than like embarrassment, but they are represented in different ways, and the way that we make them, how they make us be perceived. Like if you're embarrassed, you feel huge. Yes, like sweaty palms and like a big red face. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's me. That's me as well. Yeah. Every time anxiety was like trying to come up with like scenarios to be ahead, to plan ahead, there were always like bad scenarios,
Yeah.
intrusive thoughts and negative thoughts. And I related to that a lot, because that's what happens. You never think of like an outcome that is a good outcome for yourself. Anxiety
Yeah.
thrives on like the fear of like having a bad outcome, and what can I do to prevent this? And I do believe that's one of the worst things, to just really degrade your just mental state. One thing that I really enjoyed in the movie was in terms of like showing anxiety and how it thrives as a main character is
Yeah.
later on, when anxiety is like doing so much, she's feeling so much pressure, she's doing everything she can. It's like she's building a new concept of self for
Yeah.
Riley. It's like that she just puts every emotion aside, even the new ones, and it's
Yeah.
like she goes in full mode like psycho. And
Yes.
that whole thing represents the build up and the culmination of what a panic attack is, because
Yeah, yeah.
Riley ends up feeling just, she
Yeah,
starts
pen.
having a
Yeah.
panic attack in the movie. And it's that joy ends up coming to anxiety and kind of calms her down and
And the
takes her away
tornado
from the
thing.
board. Yeah, yeah,
With the
exactly.
tornado thing and the thing that she was like flickering, wasn't she? She was doing so much and going around so quickly that she was just like flickering. You see her eye
Yeah,
flickers, her hand flickers,
so
and
much happening is like, and I like that touch. I like that touch because that's what anxiety also does when it's like too
yeah,
much. The movie shows how these emotions have a lot of character. And going back to like our main character anxiety, because joy is usually the main character, the main emotion. But like joy, for all it matters, like I do believe that joy ends up having a lesser role in your life the more you grow up. Unfortunately, you will have to find space for it, but I totally can relate with the way that anxiety just took over,
Just
you
to
see.
cover, yeah.
It was really cleverly done, and it was funny. Like the humor of the movie works, okay? If you have not seen the movie and you are curious about it, like even if you haven't watched the first one, you can watch this one if you want to. I think that would be a really nice Saturday evening watch
Yeah.
for a
And if
bunch of
you're a
people. Yeah.
parent, just watch it with your kid.
Yeah, that would be also really cool, I think. Pixar really did a good one with this. I haven't been really enjoying the animation movies that have been coming out, which is unfortunate because I do think it's an industry that has so much potential.
Oh, yes.
Even if now I'm an adult, I still enjoy them, and I think like there is space for animation to relate to both kids and adults,
Yes.
or just one or the other. I think there's space for everything, but this one I do believe is universal in it, and it was a nice choice. I really enjoyed it.
I really love the film. The both films are really. I think that yeah, you're right. They just hit all the marks with these films. They're just amazing films.
They did. So if you happen to be curious about it because you listened to our episode, uh, then tell us, like let us know, because that's really good to know. And if you have any other suggestions of other movies that you would like for us to discuss, that would also be really cool. You can send them via email or just send us a message on Instagram. That's where we are
Yes.
most active, you know? And don't forget to follow us on Spotify and Instagram as well. Okay?
Yes. Okay.
You are really cool. Thank you so much for listening to us. And we'll see you next time with another movie commentary.
Yes, and send us your suggestions of movies so that we can talk about also.
You
That's
sounded so
way.
excited, and I
Yeah.
sounded so disappointed. You make me sound disappointed.
Thank
I
you.
am not.
Thank you.
Like, I am not disappointed in anything, okay? Anyway, we'll just say goodbye for now, okay? See you next time.
See you next time. Bye.